You are now tuned into FNL Radio.
Hey, what is up, everybody? I know y'all missed our voices, but we are back, everyone. Um, Even though it's September and we've been missing for a little minute, but we are back, everybody. Welcome to FNL Radio. It's your boy Doc. Got Monique on the other end as well, everyone.
Hey there, all my loves. How is everybody doing out there tonight?
Yes, everyone. So we're doing something a little different. So of course we're going to go back to our regularly scheduled programming again months later, but we are going to we're doing the spinoff right now. So every time you listen to FNL Radio, we have at the end of the show normally we'll have our watch what we're watching with FNL. But now we decided, what, let's go ahead and do just a spinoff of it, just a standalone version of the show. So we're going to give you FNL Radio where we're going to talk about what we've been up to this whole summer, give our whole long introduction, where we've been up to and whatnot. But for now, we're going to go ahead and just do a new little show for you all called What We're Watching with FNL. And tonight's very first episode of What We're Watching with FNL is going to be about Real Housewives of Potomac, everybody, right in our backyards here in the DMV.
Yeah, so we just decided, listen, everybody else is weighing in and giving their opinion, been talking about Real Housewives of Potomac. You guys know we talked about this in previous shows, how the premiere was pushed back for a couple months due to COVID. So it's finally back on. I think we're on episode 9. And this was the episode, I guess, that everybody's been waiting for. Everybody's been anticipating, sitting on the edge of their seats. And so it kind of gave a deep dive into the fight and that good dragorization between Monique and Candiace Dillard Bassett. So we wanted to just kind of weigh in, give our perspective, talk about the show and what we've been watching and what we've been viewing. I have some strong opinions. I'm gonna hold them until the end. So, okay, y'all, let's jump right on into the mess. So,
Yes.
Reggie, where do you want to start? Do you want to sip some of this piping hot tea first from Monique's ex best friend Gigi about that good Monique and this trainer? Or do you want to weigh in on last night's episode first of the Real Heifers of Potomac and save Miss Gigi for the end of the show? Whatever you want to do, this your show, honey. I just follow the lead.
You have executive producer credits.
Oh, do I have to pull a Mariah Huck and sue your ass?
Okay, nigga.
Okay. I sent you this video this morning, Reggie. So I guess around the end of last week, a video dropped of Monique Samuel. You guys know she's on the Real Housewives of Potomac, of her former best friend Gigi. And we actually saw her on the season. I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before last, but Gigi was spilling some tea about that good Monique and this trainer. So, Reggie, I have always told you, I've told my aunt, I've told anybody that I discussed this show with, I've told my best friend Amber, this shit about Monique and this trainer did not just fall out of the sky. It did not just come out of the thin air. Now, I know they were stating that Sharice was responsible for spreading this shit around town. And then Giselle had her nose in and she was talking about it all in the confessionals. But I kept telling you that there was something, as in the words of good old Mama Joyce, honey, where there's some smoke, there's some motherfucking fire. Yes. And I knew that this shit didn't just drop out of thin air. Nobody, now, according to Monique, these girls are going to, to the ends of the earth and back to, I guess, spray her, to pretty much do it all they can to get her off of the show, pretty much by making her quit. They making up rumors about her, stating that baby Chase isn't Chris's. She's running around here having affairs, this, that, and the third. But again, I knew that this shit didn't just drop out of thin air. I think that, kind of once it came out, I guess the baton got passed to Sharice. She spreaded it, started talking about it with some of the people in Potomac. Then the baton got passed to Giselle. We all know that Giselle is messy. She loves some mess. She loves some piping hot tea. So, this is again to deflect from the shit that go on between her and Jamal and whatever, J-Mal and whatever the fuck else she got going on in her life. But again, I'm gonna say it. I've been saying that this shit did not drop out of thin air. So Gigi goes on this video, and you guys can check out. I think it was the Empress channel is where we got this information from. The youth, and so Gigi did a YouTube video. I will tell you guys, if you guys want to check it out, you got to listen closely because there is a lot of background noise in the video, so it's kind of hard to understand.
Yeah, I don't know if she's driving through the tunnel or something, but you got to listen very closely. So
what title? So Gigi, on this video, she goes on to say that one night her and Monique, they went out to a club. And according to Gigi, Monique is drunk boots. Now that I can't believe, because it is no secret that Monique can drink and she can hang with the best of them. Her ass loves to take them back. And, Ashley's messy ass told y'all that what the season before last. Talk about how the girl was in a car accident. She was so drunk. Then they went a couple different places, and Monique stated she had about 6 or 7 drinks, or Ashley stated that Monique had about 6 or 7 drinks there. And then, and I kept saying that particular season, she got so upset with Ashley about telling those girls about, her drinking and her situation. But every time we looked, she had a bottle in her damn hand or a fresh glass of wine in her hand. Remember, they went to the bowling alley, bought her own bottle of wine and opened the bitch with her teeth. So I can't believe all of this. So according to Gigi, Monique's trainer was at this club. And now the way Gigi talks sounds as if Monique introduced the two of them for the first time at this club. Now it's unclear if, I guess, the trainer just happened to be at this club and they ran into, or Monique ran into him at this club, or if they had been kind of kicking it and, this was a planned meetup type situation. But anyway, Gigi states that, Monique was so drunk that she was dancing and she was dropping it low, spreading it wide. She was showing her underwear. She was all over this trainer. And according to Gigi, I guess another friend of theirs was with them. According to Gigi, she kept trying to pull Monique away from the trainer, and Monique, would kind of laugh it off and just, it was kind of like, oh girl, ain't nothing to it. We just having fun, this, that, and the third. But according to Gigi, basically, Monique was intoxicated to the point she felt like that she couldn't have a drink because somebody kind of needed to watch Monique. She states that she was all over this trainer to the point where it was making her uncomfortable. Again, she tried to pull her away a couple times. She, kind of laughed it off. Once she would kind of pull her away from the trainer, she would go back over there and start talking to the man, all over the man once again. So she states that she called her husband. And Reggie, you can tell me if I'm leaving anything out. I'm just kind of going from memory, from when I watched the video. I watched it a couple times today. You guys know I turned 40 this past June, so my memory is what it was when I was 39. But the young lady was stating that basically, she was uncomfortable, so she called her husband. Now, let me say this: Gigi states that her and Monique are obviously or were best friends. She states that Chris is like a brother to her. She considered him her brother. She states that her husband was also very, very close to Chris as well, and her husband considered Monique like a sister. So she states that she ended up calling her husband and telling her husband, basically, we're in this club, she's all over this dude, is making me uncomfortable, I don't want no shit, I'm not down with the mess. So, I just don't know what to do. I've tried to get her to come out of here. I've tried to get her away from this guy. She's not stopping with her behavior. So I'm not sure what to do. So kind of gets kind of crazy because she states her husband then in turn, now, I don't know if her husband it's unclear. This is unclear as well. I don't know if her husband at the time when she called her husband, if he was with Chris or what, but she stated that Chris was at a club not too far from where they were at. So I'm like, well, who is at the fuck home with
All
all
right.
the goddamn kids and shit?
Yes.
Who was with them if y'all out at the club? She states her husband lets Chris know that Monique is basically at the club down the street. She done had one too many. She a little wild. Gigi kept using the words, they were very close for comfort. Now, if you remember, Giselle used that same term in
Yeah.
her confessional as well. But Monique is too close for comfort with this guy. They are very comfortable in their behaviors with each other. So you need to come get her. You need to come get her. So apparently, this is what Giselle said. This how Big Boy found out. He came to the club, got her out the club or whatever, and took her home. So according to Gigi, the next day, I guess Chris calls her because, let me say this. Gigi states that, she started to record Monique. Now, listen, I don't know what kind of best friend this is, honey. I done had a best friend for over 20 years, and anybody ain't never recorded me doing nothing that I ain't had no business doing. I will say that. She states that the reason why she did it, I guess, as girlfriends, y'all get home the next day when you sober up, y'all talk about it. Hey, girl, you was on one, you was on 1,000, honey. Let me tell you what you was doing. She was drunk. She may not remember it the next day. So she claims that she recorded her just to kind of show her, if she didn't believe her, yes, here is the proof. This is what you were doing type thing.
Yeah.
She states that the next day, she talks to Chris. I think she states that Chris called her. And so she states that she told Chris, listen, I don't know what's going on between the two of you all. I don't know if Monique feels like that she is lacking something in the relationship, something you're not giving to her, something you're not doing for her. But whatever the issues that exist between the two of you all, you need to fix it. Because this behavior it's not a good behavior. So according to Gigi, she states that is the one thing that she regrets doing. She states that, I guess, in so many words, I guess if she had to do it all over again, she probably wouldn't have gone that far and told Chris that portion about Monique's behavior. So then it kind of, I'm assuming she was doing this live. So she started, I'm assuming, looking at the comments that were coming up on live, and people were stating stuff like, well, you are, seems like you're doing this to be messy. It seems like you're doing this because you're jealous of Monique. And according to her, she's not jealous of Monique at all. Monique don't have nothing that she won't need or this, that, and the third. She's always been independent. She's always been on her own. If her and her husband got divorced today, she could stand on her own 2 feet. Now, we all remember Monique's first season on the show. She tells how she gets to DC. She states that basically she's from New Jersey. She wanted to be a rapper. She came to DC because she thought that she was going to get this rap career. Now, according to Gigi, Monique was on the payroll. She was actually a personal assistant to Chris. She states that Chris actually had a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
When Monique met him, again, Monique was his personal assistant. She insinuated that basically, and this is what I took from it, when Monique's plan, which all kind of makes sense, and some other things that I've also been saying to you, Reggie, as to why Monique has been going on these campaigns, and she's been doing these IG lives to defend, her marriage and things like that. Sounds as if to me that when I guess maybe the rap thing did not, pan out the way she planned. Now, I don't know why she was in the process of trying to become a rapper, if she was working for Chris at the time, or if, after it did not work out, she figured she had to get her some type of job. And that's when she started working for Chris. But at any rate, according to Gigi, he had a girlfriend. Monique kind of broke them up. She states that Monique, knew pretty much, because she was his personal assistant. She knew a lot of his personal information as far as finances, things like that. Where she did not know, she states that the both of them looked his information up, looked to see how much he was worth, and basically she insinuated that Monique went after him, took him from his girlfriend because she needed basically a plan that she was trying to get chose.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was a lot to take in, but she kind of states, obviously, that they're no longer friends because of this situation. And pretty much it is what it is. Now, what I will say is, I guess you tell me what you think, and then I'm gonna give you my opinion and the way I look at it.
So the way I look at it with everything, when again, like you said, when I know for me, when my best friends, when we out and stuff like that, I'm always typically the one that sobers up really quickly, because I'm always the responsible one. I'm the one that makes sure everyone is good, because I don't want no problems, no issues. So there are times I will record my friends, like, this is how you are when you drunk and stuff like that, just so they'll know next time don't be out here embarrassing me in these streets or get locked up for some behavior. So I see in that, respect why you would record your friends. But if you're going to use this information to hold it against your friend because y'all got a little, situation now, and because you knew, even if your friend is doing something foul, that's like stuff you kind of keep to yourself, like amongst your friends. Like, you don't just be like, okay, even though I look at Chris like a brother, I'm still telling him, now you regret it. And I mean, you knew what you was doing. If you going to tell someone, their spouse, what's going on, you know what the issue's going to be after that. So, I mean, I don't understand why she had to go and put Monique out like that. But then Monique, at the same time, too, when you do your dirt, it's always going to come to the light, So, it.
Yeah. So, here, like you said, here's the thing. Like you said, now, is this something that Gigi probably should have taken with her to the grave? Could be.
Mm-hmm.
Here is the other thing. Now, or was she really concerned about her? And like, well, look, bitch, you came into the relationship with nothing. Because also, according to her, what we see on TV is kind of that's just it. She states that, Monique didn't live this lifestyle. She wasn't, rocking red bottoms. She didn't have Gucci. She didn't have Prada. She didn't have the latest Birkin bags and things like that when they were dating. She
Mm-hmm.
says that Monique didn't really kind of, I guess, profit and kind of start seeing the what's the term I want to use?
The
Start
benefit.
kind of seeing the benefits of everything, that Chris had to offer her until they were actually married, which I understand that too. Maybe he was testing her to see was she in it for what she could get out of him,
Mm-hmm.
or and if she truly loved him. So I get that. Like I said, part of me makes me wonder, okay, did you do it because you were truly concerned for her? And, were you truly concerned for her and you really did not want to see them break up and have any issues in their marriage? And if so, could there have been a better way for you could there have been a better way for you to handle the situation? Now, bitch, the messy part is the fact that you then went and then told her ex-castmates about
Right.
what she was doing.
Exactly.
So, I don't understand any of this. Does it make for some good tea? Absolutely, yes. Um, like I said, I will keep saying it. I will keep shouting it from the rooftops. I knew that this story didn't just drop out of thin air. I think that there is some truth to it somewhere. along the way. I mean, and and again, I like Monique, but everybody know that she married that man. Chris ain't nothing to look at. So, everybody, and she's very attractive. She's a pretty woman. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that I'm
It's not,
just going yeah, I'm just going to say it is what it is.
yeah.
You I could see her maybe messing around with the trainer. Now you had the babies by him, just like Ashley know what she doing with Michael. You done had the babies by him, and I think that you learned to love him. But everybody know he ain't nothing attractive to look at. If I had to fuck him, I'd probably have to put a paper bag over his head.
Or
You
turn the
know,
lights out or something. But
yeah.
it reminded me of Shrek and Fiona before Fiona turned into an ogre herself.
Yeah, so it's kind of bizarre or whatever, and like I said, that kind of goes back to that whole thing of this whole campaign that she had going on with all these lives and things like that, and with him in the background, because I get it. And like I told you before, if I was in her same situation, I probably would have done the same thing. I knew that coming into this marriage, I didn't have anything, and I know that if he gonna divorce me over grounds of infidelity, and especially something that I did, I know that I stand the chance of, even though I got all these kids and stuff, I stand the chance of not getting,
I think I'm
that can be held against me. So I'm
right.
going to do whatever I can do. And then it's embarrassing. Y'all are on national TV. And this is the same bullshit that your mama was trying to tell you about this girl in the first place. You see where I'm going with this. So you see where I'm going with this. So
Mm-hmm.
it's all of those things combined. So I get it. I probably would have done the same thing, because the more I get on TV, the more I get on the lives, the more I defend my husband, the more, I defend my marriage, I defend my relationship. And the more I do it with him present, it shows to him either, if it was true that I'm really, really remorseful about it, I'm sorry. Yeah, I would be on my John Gray if I was her. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I stand to lose or whatever.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I knew something wasn't right. I think that this season, this whole perfect relationship and this whole perfect patty, like that shit, remember on, why did I get married to? How
Yeah.
everybody thought Patricia and her husband, were the best thing since sliced bread, but every marriage has problems. No marriage is perfect.
Exactly. Exactly. But then the other thing too is, and I mentioned this. I probably said this on Twitter a couple of weeks ago on one of the episodes of Potomac. But y'all in the DMV, that's DC. For those who's listening, that's out of the area. That's DC, Maryland, and
In
Virginia.
Virginia. Mm-hmm.
It's so small. Like that circle is so small up against these two states in the little situation on DC, the situation. But it's always going to be a lot of people going to know everything because that's right in the backyard. That's so people going to know all the information. So you're going to be caught out here in these streets, regardless if you do your dirt by your lonesome or if you out here just spreading it out to everybody else. So it was going to bound to come out. But the fact that Gigi told, again, like you said, the people.
Sharice, and then you got to remember, Sharice has a very, very, um, very, very much a presence in
Yeah.
the Potomac area.
Mm-hmm.
Her and Eddie, and how long they had been together, how long they had lived in the area. So she knew who to pass it to, and she know who liked the mess. Sharice,
Right.
and then Sharice know who also likes the mess. And that would be Giselle.
The green.
Giselle know who likes the mess. That would be Robin. And there you have it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
it was like a baton that kept getting passed. Now, do I think it was absolutely wrong if they made up this whole story about this girl and this baby and this girl and about this baby, and they were gonna, plot against her and tell everybody that that baby wasn't Chris's? Now that was fucked up. If that, if that truly is true.
Mm.
And then there was something when the season first aired. There was also some talks about and this is that same girl Gigi. Um when Monique had that miscarriage, there was something about she was going around and stating that that wasn't necessarily a miscarriage. She had an abortion because that baby was not Chris's baby. And they stated that it was an abortion.
Mm.
So, again, I don't know if Gigi is Now I don't know if this was your bottom bitch, your main bitch, your good girlfriend, or whatever it was. Seems like she know a lot of shit and got a lot of shit on you. And it don't seem like she gonna take that shit to the grave. And I don't know what the fallout between the two was. People fall out. You know what I'm saying? Gigi, now I don't know if her husband, is a ex NFL player, and they have what Monique and them have. And then also people latch on to you because they're jealous of you as well. Because it sounds like, because according to Gigi, Monique was in her wedding and she was in Monique's wedding or whatever. Maybe she is jealous, maybe she's not. Who knows? But again, like I said, it's one of those things. If you were really truly concerned, you know, about her and about her marriage, and wanting them to stay together, wanting them to be together, why would you then go and pass this information on to Sharice when you knew it was going to spread like a wildflower or
Right.
wildfire?
Do
Sorry.
we know the timeline of their friendship? Like they were friends for like a couple of years, or they just met and they were calling themselves best friends already?
Well, when Monique had, when she was on that episode, because Monique's mama was on the episode too. Remember, Monique did
Mm-hmm.
something for a charity event, and she went to go pick out a gown for the event. Like it might have been all three of them went to go pick out gowns for the event, and she was just stating that Gigi was her best friend. She's the one basically who knows all of her, secrets and things like that. She kind of, I think she stated she was like one of the first people that she met when she got to DC.
Yeah, because Monique from Jersey, so there's some cool people in Jersey. I got family from Jersey, but Jersey give me a little itchy feeling. Jersey just don't sit right with my spirit a lot of the time because I got the carjacking stuff up in Jersey, and that's for another day, another story. But my thing is with Monique is, and this just in general for anybody that's listening, y'all gotta be careful who you call your friends. Like just because you just met her, I'm not gonna tell all my secrets to someone I just met, even though I just met. If it was 10 years ago, if I don't know you from childhood, I can't trust you. I'm not gonna hold my information with you or my secrets with you unless I can really know for sure that you're not gonna go back and spread it to everybody else and be
Mm-hmm.
messy about it.
Mm-hmm. And
That, uh,
And then my other thing was, were you doing this stuff and you felt comfortable doing these things, in front of her, around her, with her, because you thought that you all were friends. And like you said,
mm-hmm.
everybody ain't your friend. And
Right.
unfortunately, and I think that is a lesson that you'll always learn, at
Or
some
hard.
point. Yeah, you're gonna learn it the hard way, and what I'm saying. That sometimes you learn it well up into your 60s and your 70s. Unfortunately, you
Mm.
know what I'm saying. So I don't know. Like I said, I know it was messy for you to tell Sharice's information, and then especially if you told her this information after you all fell out, because she never kind of gives an account of what happened and why they are no longer friends.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if this information was given to Sharice after they fell out, which it sounds like it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then that goes to that whole Jennifer and Tammy and Shawnee and them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Evelyn,
Mm-hmm.
how once Evelyn got in Jennifer's face with that bottle and was gonna crack her over the head, and then she went and told everybody about that child to take care of her daughter, and the girl was at home 13 years old paying
Paying the bills.
shit like that, and
Yes.
paying the light bill and the water bill and shit like that. So again, like you said, you also got to be careful who you do your dirt around, because you never know what's gonna happen.
Exactly. And for sure this is it's gonna bring another, hard spot when time for the finale, not the finale, but the reunion to happen, because they're gonna bring it up. So we're just gonna see what happens. I don't know if
And
this
so, like,
Sharice, and that's the crazy part too. Sharice is not even on the show no more, and she just appeared on one episode on the premiere.
And all this foolishness and fuckery. But just like Monique kept saying, this was a plot for her to get back on the show. No, bitch, I knew that this shit did not come out of thin air. Like my Lord said, bitch, where there's some smoke, there's some goddamn fire.
Exactly. So Monique Samuels, Chris worth $17 million. So I see why, you want to deny. But, gotta be careful.
You are gonna I understand, bitch, if you sneak around, because look at him. I understand, bitch, but you just got to be more careful about who you choose to do it with and who you choose to do it around.
Yeah, get you some friends that don't got no social media, because that's the other thing too, Gigi. I understand you want to get your point across, but you ain't gotta put her out like that. Like, you can tell her, like, she had her panties were showing and stuff in the club, like she was drinking and throwing them back and everything like that. You don't got to talk about how drunk she was. I mean, at the end of the day, she's a mother too. So you got, they're gonna be, even though we virtually home now, you're gonna have her at the PTA meetings looking all crazy, like, oh, she drinking that? How much now? Okay.
The panties and $1. Like,
Do I
what?
need to call CPS because none Chris or Monique wasn't at home with the kids? And who was that? Are they watching themselves? Okay.
That little grown ass girl, she probably watching everybody. That her smart ass mouth. She probably watching everybody. The T'Challa, the baby, the little boy, the oldest. This bitch got a smart ass mouth. Yeah, she probably remember she hit. Did she hit somebody one time? Was on in the face or something? That shit is bad as shit. So she probably at home watching everybody.
Yes.
And T'Challa on the toilet and shit. Yeah, so yeah, like you said, they looking at you all crazy at the PTA meeting. Yeah, I think that was a bit, but she was dancing to that. She was showing her drawers. I was like, what?
Yes. You're an old
But again,
Mississippi.
it's not far fetched.
Right. Because she from Jersey.
And y'all, this is all allegedly because we don't want to get sued. Especially, I just
exactly.
had a story I just told about this miscarriage, but that's what she said. But she said that though. She said that. So yeah. But you guys, if you guys, have not checked out that video, you guys can go. I believe it's the Empress channel. You guys can go there and check that out, and you guys tell us what you think about Miss Gigi, honey.
Right. And Gigi, are you trying to get a spot on the show too? You trying to be a friend of a friend next season? You're trying to audition with this information real quick.
Well, honey, so you want to take it on to the episode?
Yes. So of course the episode came on, and this was, and this is all what Bravo does all the time, and Disha and everybody at Bravo always do this. When it's going to lead up to something, they talk about the next episode, this is going to happen. It don't happen until 2 seconds before the show ends, and then we got to wait till next week to be continued. So before we get to all of that, why Monique and Candiace had a blowout, Candiace kicked off the show, and I was like, okay, Candiace. I was side-eyeing her real quick because, when you have the housewives that like to sing, sometimes you got to be very careful with them. We had Kim Zolciak, Don't Be Tardy for the Party.
And the ring didn't mean a thing.
We had The ring didn't mean a thing. Okay. And then we had Portia with Flatline.
I forgot about Portia. New Wayne from Real Housewives of New York. She stayed with a goddamn song under her belt.
Yeah, she stayed, yes.
She keeps her single every season.
Yes. Who was it? Erica Jane. Who else we got?
Erica Jane.
Of course, Candy, but we don't count her.
We can't count her.
The nigga Nathan had Honey recently.
And then Monique also had a rap too that didn't do well. Are we missing anybody else?
Who else had? Melissa and Jersey tried to
tried to do a little something.
Something real quick. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's playing in my head right now. Twirl.
Kenya.
But I feel like it's someone else too.
Yeah, it's probably a couple more.
Yeah.
It's probably a couple more out there, but
You know, we have
what was Lou A's her the very first one? It was Money Can't Buy You Class.
Yes, Money Can't Buy You Class. That is a anthem, if you will, for some people, because Money Can't Buy You Class at all. That's come from Luann, the Countess herself.
Yes, the Countess her damn self.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. Anybody else? I remember I remember Melissa, but hers wasn't that great. Pushing her flat line. What we had to remember when Demetra McKinney, I don't know if she count though.
The name shouldn't really count. But I think that's
come on and get this. Come on and get this.
But yes, our housewives have had a nice little colorful musical career. So Candiace is the latest to be added to the list. And hers didn't sound so bad, so I forgot she did this little song at her wedding before. And the song is called I See You. Well, she went did a little go-go version of it real quick that you can listen to real quick here. To describe how much I love you. I don't know what's tomorrow brings, what songs to sing. Show you you're my everything. All I know is I found the one. I was a little shaky a little bit, but she did what she had to do.
Yeah, it was better than what she sang at that wedding reception. Yeah. I can tell you that.
Yeah, so that's the Go-Go remix shot to DC. You know, that go with some CCB, you know, some mambo sauce stuff.
No red essence, honey.
Yeah, so she went and did a little something. So I was like, okay, Candiace, I see you. And so that just showed her in the studio. It wasn't that much of a, but that's what she just let us know for sure. She's done with the shits with Monique.
Yeah. And then you know she loved it. That bitch loved to sing happy birthday. So I'm assuming we gonna get a go-go rendition of happy birthday as well.
Yes. And then here we come for the next part. That damn Ashley Darby and Michael Darby. Now Michael was out here spreading it wide and laying it low.
Well, let me go back to Candiace. What I will say, like I said, that backing track sound real nice. And what I will say is, at least the bitch ain't get on national TV acting like Tamar and Latavia Robertson, acting like she was scared to open her mouth and sing. I mean, she was giving us all kind of runs and vocals and falsettos and whatnot, if you will. You know, and somebody stating they actually playing that on the radio up there. Okay. So. Okay, you know, so go ahead, Miss.
Well, WPGC. Okay, let me find out.
Yeah, so go ahead, Miss Candiace. So, you know, like you said, she did, you know, have a sit down after they were actually in the studio. She did have a sit down with Chris, and she tells Chris that she is pretty much done with that Monique Samuels and her bullshit ass shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
Then, like you said, we see Ashley and Michael pull up, and they have a little sit down at the restaurant because they ain't want to argue in front of the old man, Mr. Baby D. I was like, as old as he look, he could probably give y'all a few tips and pointers on how to best resolve y'all issues. Because he look like he been here before.
Yes, that baby look a splitting image of Michael, and not in a good way. Like he look like they're the same age, and that's a problem. But that's what happens when you have kids with old people. But anyway, so Ashley wanted to discuss the text messages because she began, they talked about it on the last episode by the fire pit because Monique tried to be nosy in that conversation, but it was the ABC conversation between Candiace, Green Eye Bandit, and Ashley. And Monique tried to be all slick, but she wasn't having it. And that's why Candiace mad too, because she tried to tell Monique bye, she told Chris bye, and Monique want to play sleep on the couch.
Yeah, we gonna talk. I'm gonna get into that.
Yeah, so Michael tried to explain that he was drunk, that he was, they went to the strip club. And can remember the text from old girl's friend was saying that Michael was saying that he got a boyfriend and a wife. I was like, okay, player, and that he was trying to find someone to go back to the hotel room. Well, apparently they was in the Uber, went to the hotel. They were just making out and stuff. He said they didn't do nothing though. He was drunk. He woke up, realized that, oh shit, I'm in someone else's bed in the hotel, so let me get up. And she was like, let me do a slick picture real quick while he was getting his phone and underwear, all milky, soggy, milky back and stuff showing in the picture. And that was what it was. And Ashley was saying that, she told him before, if you want to cheat, then it's going to be the final round. It's the final showdown. And, she's staying because she's pregnant now.
Well, first of all, Ashley, this explains why the fuck Michael couldn't answer your goddamn phone call.
Yes.
When Monique had y'all asses in the middle of nowhere. And then, it seems to be, Michael was fucking and getting fucked on. And then Ashley, I'm gonna just say this to you. I don't know whether she bought this old conjured up story that he gave her or what, but I done been drunk a time or two, and I done been to the Holiday Inn, to the Embassy Suite, Hyatt Regency, hell, even the Red Roof Inn with a person of the opposite sex before, and and whether I was drunk or not, I knew. And that person knew exactly what was about to be going on.
Yeah.
As soon as the key card went through the goddamn door, we knew what was going to be going on. And so, again, I don't understand how Michael, if you ain't doing nothing with this woman, you need to explain to us, how you ended up in your goddamn underwear.
Right. Like, and my thing is, Ashley, you seem like a sweet girl. You be in the shits a lot too, but for you to be put in this situation time after time, season after season, to be embarrassed by this old ass Australian man, to put your name in the streets like this, make you look crazy. Last season, he was groping producers' asses and saying you want to suck Juan's dick and everything.
And in the first season, remember when Katie Ross was up there with her boyfriend? She grabbed his boyfriend by the. He grabbed Katie's boyfriend by the ass as well.
Yeah.
And was very inappropriate with him.
Right.
And Michael, there's also some type of recording of you and this woman going around too. And basically she telling you that y'all can't go to her house and fuck. I guess she either got a boyfriend and a husband. And then I guess you're telling her that she can't come back to your house and y'all can't fuck there either. So, to me, it sounds like y'all knew each other very, very, very well. And this a bitch you've been fucking around on, for a while.
For a good minute.
Yeah. And then, like we said, Michael did deny, he did deny telling anyone that he had a boyfriend and a wife. And that's a bunch of lies too. I believe that you probably said that multiple times to multiple people on multiple occasions.
Yeah. And see, you got, and talk about an entanglement. See, Michael, whoever your boyfriend is, you got a good one, because he not coming out spilling your tea at all. So you got a good boyfriend in the DMV and DC area, Potomac, and Tyson's Corner, wherever he's at. He's a good one because he's not telling your business. So you better keep paying him well. So
he must be paying him very well.
Exactly.
And so, Ashley, she also reminds Michael of pretty much their open relationship. And Michael stated pretty much whenever he has decided to sleep with, another woman, Ashley's pretty much, it's always been a three-way type situation. And I guess it's, Ashley and another woman and himself. So, Ashley, I guess since she's been getting her Not for Lazy Moms on recently, she's decided that she doesn't, want to have any more threesomes and doesn't want to do this kind of, open relationship type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Ashley told Michael, basically if she is blindsided by any more of Michael's bullshit and his shenanigans, it's going to be catastrophic for their relationship. Then Michael proceeds to go off on the production crew, which I don't understand. He goes off on his producer, stating that he wanted to cut the film, and he started stating that basically he's giving them, or basically giving the world enough of his life, and shared enough information. I guess they were not supposed to come out and say these things on camera. They didn't want anybody to know about this I guess, this, like you said, entanglement situation that they had going on. But everybody could look at y'all first season and tell something was not right about y'all. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew that Ashley, once again, another situation where she married somebody for money. Everybody knew about this old bizarre ass prenup. Or whatever that she was holding on for dear life. She had some kids, obviously, so she could get a little bit more. She pregnant again.
Yeah.
So, but again, the fact that, again, like we said, before, when season 1, when she grabbed that man by the pussy, Ross's, boyfriend, and she did not seem to get upset, or did not seem to, I would have slapped the piss, out my husband. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she wasn't phased by it. It's like, oh, this is normal day.
She did not seem to be upset by that. Then, the comments that he made about, Juan and being nice looking, and he would do whatever with him, because we damn sure know he won't talk about Ray or Chris. So you know what I'm saying? Or the other Chris.
Yeah.
So he won't talk about Chris Samuels or the other Chris. And he damn sure don't want nothing to do with Ray. So again, she seemed to be comfortable. So everybody kind of always figured, and at least knew in the back of our minds that they had some type of situation going on. She's been open, about her and her sexuality and things like that. And that's another reason why, the first 2 seasons, why Karen couldn't stand her. And, even Giselle and Robin thought that she was very, risque. She, would just fly off the handle and say things that were inappropriate. Remember, Karen told her she didn't even want her around her daughter. Remember, she was going to, because she was, at the time when she started, she was closer to Karen's daughter in age than she was to the rest of them. And she was supposed to do something with Karen's daughter. Do something with it. Karen was like, nah, bitch, I don't want you hanging around my daughter, because your ass is wild as shit. And this, you are not, you don't have no filter about the things that you and your husband do. So everybody kind of knew. It was always in the back of everybody's head.
Exactly.
So then we move on to Miss Monique, who now has an office space for her Not for Lazy Moms business and brand. She also states that she is going to have an event. Shout out to Letitia Scott. Coming up, where she's going to do a live podcast. So at this point, according to Monique, and according to her people, they have only sold 20 tickets out of the 300 tickets that they need to sell. So Monique states that Karen and Ray will be guest speakers on the panel, as well as Candiace and Chris, and they will be given like a newlywed and honeymoon perspective on things. But then she shades Candiace, stating that she doesn't know what kind of advice that Candiace and Chris can give, considering how Chris and Candiace have been married for a year now, and they've never been on a honeymoon.
Yes, she would let us know that every time. Never been.
Now Monique, I'm gonna say this. That's a childish ass dig you took, because you invited Monique and Chris to be on your little panel prior to finding out that the bitch had befriended Sharice. And so I feel like you knew when you invited her and Chris to be on that panel and to speak that they had not taken a honeymoon. So, Monique, I'm gonna tell you like Mariah told Jackie, bitch, your slip is starting the motherfucking show. So what you think about that, Reggie? Child.
Like, you knew, like you said, you knew all of this before, she was all good and great to come on your podcast, but now that she can't come, you're going to start throwing shots at her now. Now you don't like her. Now you're going to keep bringing up that her and Chris never been on the honeymoon yet and everything like that. And the other thing, too, is because you don't got an office space, that's nothing but a gathered office space where you pay $10 a month and you have a little suite real quick. So, but that... But you spending $200,000 on an
Oh,
event.
yeah, we gonna talk about that too. Oh yes.
So you can go into that now because Monique, you the highlight of this show for every bad
Well,
reason.
we ain't gonna talk about the green eye bandits real quick. How they settle the people furniture.
Yeah. So, but
So
Monique, that $200,000 though for that event, it wasn't even worth it. You should have had this shit at the Sheraton banquet hall real quick, and called it. They had 30 people come in, have a nice little chicken or fish meal option, and had a little banquet table with the white cloths stapled across the tables, the fold up tables at that, and then just had a little panel right there with your microphone.
girl,
But
you
you trying
need
to
to get
do the
in touch.
most.
You need to get in touch with Lisa the Cold Cloud. That bitch can show you how to put on a weird conference. Get the people out, honey.
Exactly.
But okay, so the
That shit could
green,
went to the Baltimore Harbor. But yes,
you know what?
not bandits.
So the Green Eye Bandits, they met up at a scaled down version of West Elm, to look for furniture to put on Giselle's wish list for her $900,000 teardown. So, and then, Giselle and Robin, they proceed to pop a squat and stretch out across these people's furniture that they tried to sell.
Look, when I saw that, I was like, wait, now y'all got, she said Robin, I mean, not
What
Robin,
I said,
but
they feet in
Giselle.
the chair. I was like, what?
Yeah, Giselle put her knee in the chair and, getting real comfortable. I'm like, ma'am, you are in the damn furniture store. Okay, now.
And so then Robin proceeds to tell Giselle how Monique acted like a whole ass fool because Candiace and Giselle, but Monique's anger was really directed at Candiace, didn't come out and roast marshmallows and make some goddamn s'mores. So Robin also told Giselle that she had been talking to Sharice about the blogs regarding Michael and Ashley. And then Robin says that she thought that she sent the article to Sharice, but she actually sent it by accident to Ashley's ass. And so Robin said she felt bad when she noticed that she sent the article to Ashley instead of Sharice. So she stated she pretty much followed it up and stated, hey girl, what do you want us to do with this? Now Robin, my soror, girl, your moral compass is way better than mine will ever be. Because the way Ashley came for your ass on the first
Yo.
season and Googled your ass on the first season of the goddamn show,
Huh.
and told everybody that you and Juan had 50 cents combined in y'all's bank account. And the next season, the next episode, or the next season, she kept her goddamn foot on your neck constantly, asking you questions about your relationship with Juan, why you putting up with him, why y'all living together, why you still fucking on him. She just went on and on and on with that bullshit and just kept like constantly harassing you. Child, the entire season. I personally wouldn't give two fucks about her, Michael, or they goddamn feelings. That's just me. Then I guess we see Wendy, honey. Girl, you telling us that you ain't gonna return to teaching at Johns Hopkins. I guess that's a segue into you saying that you want to do nothing else but be on this show permanently.
Yeah, be a professional
So
housewife.
yeah, you showing us that you got book sense within 4 degrees, but you don't have not the first goddamn piece of common sense. Because ain't no way I would, but then again, how can you be on this ratchet ass show and then be teaching the kids down at Johns Hopkins? So I guess I don't know.
Yeah, Wendy, I got 4 degrees.
Yes, and then we see Monique and Chris. They take baby Chase out for a little walk. And then, just like Reggie was saying earlier, Monique tells Chris that she has only sold 20 tickets out of 300 for that live podcast. Chris tells her she needs to cut back a bit because the $200,000 that she has spent doesn't make sense because she's not seeing a return on her investment. In the words of old Miss Robbie, honey, we y'all send out prayers for her. If it don't make dollars, you used to tell Tim all the time, if it don't make dollars, it don't make goddamn sense.
But now, in Tim's case, just kill a body.
Okay. So, So Monique then tells Chris that Candiace has dropped out of being a part of the event, honey. She ain't on the panel no more. And then she starts calling Candiace all kind of names, honey. She unprofessional. She's selfish. Monique states that Candiace didn't take into consideration to listen to this and listen how simple this sounds. Candiace didn't take into consideration the few $100s that she would have to spend to reprint the 500 flyers that has her picture all over them. First off, Monique, what's $200 to $300 to reprint some flyers when you have spent $200,000, as you say, on overhead and startup costs, and then you state you spend another $80,000 in salaries trying to pay these people down to, like Reggie said, that meetup place. That is like actually the conference room in somebody's loft apartment building.
Exactly.
But anyway, I guess for me, I would think that you would be more worried about trying to sell the remaining 280 tickets that you need to sell and worry about them goddamn flyers with Candiace's picture all over a little bit later.
Exactly. I mean, Aretha Franklin wasn't at Whitney's funeral, and she was all up in the program.
And again, the show must go on.
Yes.
And again, why is Candiace? Again, I'm gonna ask you again. Why is Candiace on this panel? When she's not a mother, you can't stand the bitch. According to you, she's sneaky. Y'all's friendship was only surface level, and there is this constant dig once again about the honeymoon phase and what could she add. Because her and Chris never went on a honeymoon, and again, you knew all of this prior about her not going on a honeymoon and all this stuff. You knew all of this prior to you having an issue with her. So it seems to me that if Candiace was so toxic, you would have cut her from your event. Shout out to Letitia Scott before she had the opportunity to embarrass your ass on national TV and drop out, if you don't fuck with her.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't fuck with her, why would you even want her at your event? I don't understand. And Monique, that's that goddamn slip again showing.
Yes.
And so then, we see Ashley with her mother and her sister. They shopping for her sister's homecoming dress. And Ashley's mother is telling Ashley that Michael ain't shit. But you see that mama ain't want to give Ashley too much because she know her daughter needed a new homecoming dress. And if she took too much cash money, shit, her ass would be right back to living under a goddamn bridge or being next door neighbors with Oscar the Grouch again. So, she didn't get Ashley too much. Ashley told her mama, I ain't scared to leave him. I done left him before. So, we going to skate through this. Robin talked to her parents about marrying Juan and buying another home. Her dad, he was kind of like my mama, bitch. We glad you happy. We glad you in love. We don't give a shit what you do as long as you know that I'm not paying for another goddamn wedding.
Right.
So, we skate on past that. And Reggie. And you said this earlier. I told you last night we won't gonna get but a little piece, and I mean a little piece of this good dragon until like 5 minutes before 10. You guys know that the show comes on at 9:00, and 5 minutes before 10 is when all hell broke loose.
Yes.
And so y'all know hell, Andrea Cohen and Disha is regular like they call it. And Bravo, they shady as fuck because I think they say Real Housewives may not even come on next Sunday. I think they're stating that if you Google it, episode 10 is not scheduled to come on to October the 4th.
See.
So, so Giselle, the lady started Tootsie Roll on into this wine tasting that Giselle is throwing to celebrate her literary award. Now, I am still not sure and not for certain how Giselle won this award against Eric Jerome Dickey, Terry McMillan, Zora Neale Hurston, James Baldwin, and Toni Morrison writing a book about J-Mal.
Yes.
Ryan,
about leaving J-Mal and then getting back with J-Mal.
Yeah, someone please explain this shit to me. But I guess we'll never know why the cage bird sings, huh? So anyway, Ashley strolls on in, and then she slips up and says that her and Michael, are trying to conceive, and she obviously has conceived because she's announced that she is having her second old baby. She's pregnant. I think she due in February, so she pregnant.
Yeah.
So anyway, she also tells this bogus story about what happened with Michael and this woman in this hotel room. And then she low-key tells a lady about her entanglement situation. They asking questions, Wendy standing there with her mouth wide open with them long ass lashes on. Karen just looking, shaking her head. Monique, and again, Monique, now you sending Ashley articles and all this shit and sending her the blogs, but then you went off on Candiace for stating, for Candiace doing the same thing and telling her about these text messages and she need to leave people's marriages alone. Again, you wanted it with this bitch, and you've been wanting it with this bitch ever since you told her last season that you was gonna drag her pregnant and all.
Yes.
So somehow the conversation switched to Monique and Candiace. And Monique and Candiace started dig and jab at each other. Candiace knew Monique was salty about the fact that she dropped off that panel for that live podcast. And then Candiace, in true Candiace fashion, she made a snide comment about cancellations being just what they are. And then, so she, pretty much she was, I don't know if anybody else caught this, but
Right.
she was basically insinuating not only did she cancel out of that podcast, but she pretty much canceled her friendship with Monique.
Mm-hmm.
Again, so then Monique responded, I'm gonna leave her where she is, and that's way back there. And she was kind of pointing the thumb way to the back and stuff like that. So Giselle says, she's standing there ready to get it started. She grinning with them green eyes, honey. She is grinning like the Grinch and shit like that. So she says, what's the issue between you two? Again, and she's standing there, snickering and shit. Candiace says, I meant what I said. I love Monique, even when she pretends to be asleep. And so Monique says, girl, I'm always woke. Candiace says, nah, bitch, that ain't what the fuck I meant. Let me clarify for you. When I left that goddamn lake house, you pretended to be asleep so you wouldn't have to say goodbye to me. And Monique stated, I'm going to say this to you, Monique. I don't care what the fuck you say or anyone else says. You were not asleep. You showed your entire black ass that whole weekend while
Yes.
they was there. You have been, like I stated, you have been sitting already for that girl, with that girl. You were pissed with her. You all had just had a disagreement, and you made the comment when they were singing happy birthday to you that she was nowhere around when they sung happy birthday to you because y'all had got into it. And so you thought that she purposely was trying to say, fuck your birthday. And basically, she basically walked in and caught you saying, oh, she's probably gone. She's probably packing up your stuff. Remember, she came down, was like, no, she's right here. She's right here. So I guess, in return, you said, your fuck you payback to her was, when you leave, I'ma just pretend like I'm asleep. So I
Yeah.
won't have to say shit else to you, despite the fact that everyone else that left literally right before her and Chris, you were woke. You said goodbye to them. You gave them hugs, kisses. You said your goodbyes and sent them on their way. So Monique then says, you don't know what I went through to get the house ready. And then she says, well, you wouldn't understand because you're not a mom. So again, Candiace says, are you mom shaming? And so she says, well, how am I mom shaming and you're not even a mom? Monique, I'm going to have to stop you again, bitch.
Yes.
Now, all you do is brag about the staff and the team full of people that you coordinate every facet and detail of you and Chris's life. So you didn't do much. So, my thing is, girl, you ain't really do much to get prepared. And when you, Karen, and Giselle got to that house, there was already, a team of people waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? There was
Yeah.
already a team of people waiting on y'all. So waiting there to serve you guys. You know, mind you, the only thing I saw your ass cook was them oily ass pancakes. So the entire time y'all was there. So the Q, which was the chef, he prepared a meal for y'all the first night. The second night or the second day during the day, y'all ate pizza. Then y'all went to that Joe's Crab Shack and later on that night. And then Chris, which you was pissed about that, he had food catered for your birthday because you was pissed because you wanted him to grill. So what did you do exactly besides put some icing on some Cinnabons that you popped in the oven and you know, worried the dog shit out of all them girls about coming outside and getting in front of that fire pit and roasting marshmallows and making s'mores and shit. What the fuck else did you do?
Yeah.
So, you know, again, I'm telling you, some about you is off this season. So, you know, again, they started talking over top of each other, and then Monique says, I didn't have an issue with her until you. She started pointing to Giselle. Giselle sitting up there looking. She says, until you brought me back information that I didn't know about my friend. Candiace got the twirling around and hollering and screaming. She picked up a knife and started banging it against the glass. Wendy grabbed the knife in her hand, like, bitch, if you don't get this goddamn knife. So then they both basically started, you know, talking with their hands, and
Yeah.
I get it, because I'm only tell a bitch one time. Don't put your hands up. Get your hands out my goddamn face, or else we gonna really have a problem. So it was a lot of it was a lot of that going on. It was a lot of get your hands out my face. You put your hands in my face first type shit. Candiace says, what you gonna do? Drag me? Monique starts flipping Candiace's wig, saying, you
Yeah.
want me to? Do you want me to drag you? Do you want me to? Looks like Monique pulls Candiace by that hair, and then you can hear Karen hollering and screaming, saying, Monique, get off of her. And then the screen is black and it says to be continued. That type of situation going on.
Yes. And if y'all
So
need a little refresher real quick, let me get y'all a little refresher real quick.
Oh my God! I'm not twirl around and do all of that. Because go ahead and twirl around. Keep spinning. We'll throw you dollars in a second. We'll throw you whole dollars in a second. Girl, I'm bored. Spinning around. I'm bored. I'm bored watching you. I'm spinning around. Come on, leopard. I'm asleep. Leopard, see a pet. I'm asleep. Keep spinning. It's more than you, girl. And I'm asleep because I'm bored. Because you making up that don't make no damn sense. Ain't nobody even say nothing. You the only one nice. You can go on and see some gum with chips. Get your hand in my face. Get your hand in my face. You gonna drag me? You gonna drag me too? Do you want me to? Drag me. You want me to drag me? Do you want me to?
Monique, let her go.
child, the
All
grind
in front
dog
of white people.
hiding. So, I will say this, last season and maybe the season for that, I really like Monique, and I do like her now still, but I am seeing a side of her that I do not like. And I'm really, really surprised, because especially last season, where we all thought that it was Candiace, we all could agree that we thought that Candiace was very childish.
Mm-hmm.
She was like a 14-year-old in a 30-year-old body. Now we're starting to see that, again, I feel like even if Monique had an issue with Candiace and this whole Sharice thing, and her befriending Sharice coming to her anniversary party, because according to Candiace, and we did, catch the Watch What Happens live last night with Candiace and what was it, Michael Rappaport.
Mm-hmm.
According to Candiace, she did invite Sharice to the wedding as well, but Sharice didn't go. But even if that were the case, why didn't you just have a conversation with the girl? Like I said, I think we are starting to see a lot of things kind of unravel with Monique. And again, nobody's perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. Nobody's marriage is perfect. Everybody has something, some flaws, some issue. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I was rather taken back by her last that last week, how she acted a complete and utter ass fool about those girls not coming out and doing her s'mores. And when I watched the episode again yesterday before the 9 o'clock episode came on, she does have this thing where if she does, like Robin stated, you do have this issue with control and you want everybody to do what you want to do. And I'm talking about Monique, not Candiace. You
Mm-hmm.
want everybody to do what you want them to do in the way that you want them to do it. And that trip, and again, you talking about you don't know what I had to do to prepare. Every last one of them bitches said that was bored. Y'all didn't do shit.
Right.
Y'all got on some paddle boats. Y'all went fishing. Y'all ate some pizza. Y'all were bored to the point that y'all had to make up something to do, which was have that, that pretend fashion show and pageant because y'all didn't have anything else to do. But again, because you wanted it on your terms and what you wanted them to do, so you brought them there to do absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? I was really taken back by the way she acted, and I really thought that she was way more mature than that. I thought that she, was definitely better than that. But,
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to see, a side to her that I just don't like or whatever. Last year, she really shamed Monique for, acting childish, and immature. And it seems like you're doing the very thing that you accused her of.
Mm-hmm. Like you can't even plan the a podcast live event. How am I going to trust you to plan the house party? You can't even plan the trip. So, like you said, some Monique definitely shown her slip this season for sure, and we not even finished off the season yet. And she like just things about her. Like you said, I always had a nice feeling towards Monique, but especially this season, things seem a little off. I don't know if the guilt is starting to eat at her a little bit allegedly, with the trainer or something, or because she know it's out in the streets now, so now she got to try to
Mhm.
conceal everything.
And then a lot of people were stating this they don't understand why she hasn't directed her anger to Giselle. But you guys have to remember when they take this, Giselle, she doesn't know. You see what I'm saying? When they take
Mm-hmm.
this, she did not know that Giselle was in those confessionals making those comments. She's
Right.
not gonna know. She doesn't, she sees it when we see it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
Come
now
on.
she knows that Giselle was in the confessional, kept making those comments. We've heard every single, you know what I'm saying? They played it every single episode about, word on the curb is Monique
Yeah.
was getting a little too comfortable with her trainer, and Big Boy and Big
Yeah.
Boy found out. We've seen that every single episode, but
Yeah.
at the time when they were filming, Monique didn't know that, so she can't direct her anger towards Giselle. But she was a fool if she ever trusted Giselle in any way in the first place. But she states that she's never really trusted Giselle. But I'm just really, really taken back by her behavior. Like you said, I don't know if there is something else, going on or whatever. And then
Mm.
I guess, she made some comments. I guess that, maybe Chris sees her as only, something to, you know, something to do
Right.
or whatever. But see, again, and I've told y'all before in other episodes past, when things like that happen, bitch, everything comes with a motherfucking price.
Exactly.
So, why you married him. It may not have been the you know what I'm saying? You may have grown to love him, but everybody know that you didn't marry that man because you thought that he was attractive. Everybody knows that. Or whatever. And you probably grew to love him as time went on. But everything comes with a price. So when you have your own intentions, people treat you like you had your own intentions. Maybe he see you as something to do, because maybe your intentions initially,
Mm-hmm.
weren't the
I
best.
mean,
And everything comes with a price.
right. You were on payroll to begin with, so you know. But and then with this bird too. I mean, the bird been throwing me off. So I'm like, okay, she going through something. Cause why you walking around with the
Yeah,
bird?
she keep getting out. I think it's done got out 2 or 3 times. And I'm talking about in real life. And she keep
Yeah.
making these videos. Now he back. He done flew back home. Then in the next 2, 3 days, he gone again. And they can't find him and all this other stuff. So yeah, it's just some, and again, child, it's not painting you, not painting you in the best light, but everybody, and then but everybody gets it, you know what I'm saying, Also, everybody gets it every season. You know,
So
it was Ashley last season. You know, it was Robin first season. So
yeah, Karen was second season when they were trying to find her
with the
house.
and them taxes and all that other
Yeah,
stuff. Um, you know, it was Sharice and her ex husband and all the foolishness they had going on. Um, so you know, it is what it is. And then Karen, and Lunel, y'all, you guys know I love Lunel, and Karen is also one of my favorites. They did a live together. I don't know if you saw it. It was cute. So where Lunel actually interviewed Karen.
Oh, I got that.
Ah,
Yeah, 'cause I love me some Lunel too. And
yeah,
then
but
we're gonna talk about is Karen finished with her little storyline about her and Ray not touching her no more?
yeah, well, I don't think so because we have, you know, there's a part of the preview where they seem to maybe have a heated discussion, and remember she walks off and says something like under her breath like I should have left a long time ago. So we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, her old ass taking all them shots last week. 9
It
shots.
is sick as did walk around with a ginger ass sick as hell.
Yes.
So you guys weigh in, tell us what you think. We have missed a lot. I guess since we've been gone, several things. We really haven't touched the Tamar and David at a festival, however you say his last name. You know, maybe we'll review
Get Your Life next week or
yeah,
this, well, whenever. Come on,
which is just like watching the episode of Ben Bobby Brown. So,
right?
oh, baby,
Except with a sun visor, we don't got a sun visor. Instead of a sun visor, we got a toupee.
yes, that bang thing, child,
The
bad.
bang gang. But
So yeah, so you know, child, the Mr. David, child.
Candle
So,
wax man himself.
what you say?
I said the candle wax man himself.
Yeah, so you know, maybe we'll review that. What else we did? We missed Miss Robbie in that whole Tim situation. You
Yes.
guys definitely keep Miss Robbie in your thoughts and in your prayers. Child, Tim done did a number on
Yeah.
her.
Yes.
So
And definitely did a number on that nephew, but we just want to make sure that Miss Robbie is protecting our prayers so that she won't be hitting us. So
yeah, because somebody kind of say she, I don't know, kind of looking like she kind of didn't believe it, and you know what I'm saying. So um so I don't know, but yeah, there's definitely, so you know, we may look at Get Your Life, and then we may weigh in on all this foolery and fuckery with you know, Tamar and David, and break all those text messages down and
yeah,
those things. So you know, I read something today where it stated that they had some pictures of David with some woman, and the woman looked like Tamar to me, but they said he was with some bald head woman. I was like, with the bald head woman, that looked like Tamar. But some woman he supposedly was cheating on, and Tamar found out, cheating on Tamar with, and Tamar found out about it. So, you know, but there's been just a whole lot of different things
yeah,
um surrounding this whole situation. But, you know, again, maybe we will review Get Your Life on Thursday, and then try to break down this whole situation and talk about that.
yes, because a lot to talk about for sure. But just to let you all know too, and like Monique said, let us know what you think about Potomac in this episode, and we will. Potomac doesn't come back until October 4th at 9 p.m. on Sunday. Everybody, so
Told y'all.
we are out for a week, but of course they're going to build the hype up for October 4th. Everybody, so October
Yeah.
4th at 9 o'clock p.m. Let's see who got dragged and why Candiace had to
Which
call.
y'all already know, this is gonna be like a love and hip hop fight. So you guys know the screen is gonna go black. You're gonna see
Yeah,
the camera shaking and turning upside down. You're gonna
yeah.
hear a bunch of yelling and screaming. You may see one or two hair pulls, but you saw that tonight.
Monique, get off of her.
Yeah, so you may not even see that anymore, and that's gonna be it or
Yeah.
whatever. So, but yeah, I'm not sure why it's skipping a week. It ain't like the Grammys on. The Emmys was last Sunday, was yesterday, and they played that while the Emmys was on. It ain't like the Tonys on, the Golden Globe. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but this is something that old Shady, Andrea, honey, and Bravo, and what is it, Purveyors of Pop, honey. They didn't
Yes.
that set y'all up, they done hype y'all up for this fight.
Yeah. So we're gonna see, because like we said, we talked about this fight on FNL a long time ago. So we know what what happened out of it. Candiace filed a police report and everything like that. But
And
we
then
know,
filed one back against
yeah,
her. And now Candiace is, I haven't heard anymore since the whole threatening came down. But they said she threatened pretty much that if Monique was, on the next season, she definitely would not be back, honey. So we hope that go-go track sale. Just in case you don't come back, honey. And like I told you, you better go ahead and remix that happy birthday, bitch, because you get that, go ahead and turn that into a go-go track as well. Because I saw a live that Monique did, and this was several weeks ago. It's probably been a month or so ago. And she was telling somebody, honey, she had thought about not coming back, but then she thought about it. She gonna come on back because it's just gonna make you bitches even jealous of her and even more mad at her. So she gonna come on back just to get under Giselle and Robbie, and that's what she said.
yeah, get their ass back for teaming up with the enemies. But at the same time, you did your dirt in the shit. Then you did by your lonesome, and I had everybody looking at you in the streets all crazy because now you in this situation.
The lady said, bitch,
You,
you was in day harder. You was dancing to the point where you was showing your panties.
yes, like you were Mississippi or Mercedes on the pole at the paint. So shout out to Pussy Valley.
Yeah,
So
and your friend was Uncle Clifford trying to get your ass together. And she didn't even say, bitch, you had on thongs. She said your panties.
yes, your pants. So your mother, you got panties on, and your panties are showing out in these streets like that, and the streets of DC and Potomac and whatnot.
And made
But
her nervous to the point she had to call your husband.
yes,
Said, what would you do in that club?
yes,
And then my thing is, bitch, you ain't no young thing. You know what I'm saying? I can see, if you was in your 20s, in your early 20s, bitch, you was in your mid 30s. I think I'm older than her. But bitch, you was in your mid 30s cutting up and showing your panties.
yes. What's the street? It's a street cause of club in DC. It's a hood ass club, but the name of that club.
Is Dream still open? That used to be the club.
Look, yeah,
You was in there. I don't even think at 30 years old or even 32, I was in the club showing my goddamn panties and thongs. Bitch, how drunk was you?
right. What the hell were you drinking? Goodness, that brown juice. But down at the go showing your panties and your ass like at the paint. But so everyone, so that's Potomac again comes back October 4th at 9 p.m. on Bravo. And we'll see this beat down between Candiace and Monique and
Y'all
Real
go see that. I already told you what y'all go see.
yeah.
It's gonna be dark. The camera go shake, turn upside down. Y'all gonna hear a little bit of yelling and screaming.
And then it's gonna
And y'all saw the dishes breaking in there.
yeah. Now knowing Bravo, it could go any other way too. They could show that scene, then they go to what happened next week or the week after that, and then they'll come back to that scene at the end of the show to show the actual fight.
Yeah.
You know how they do.
Yeah, the 5 minutes to 10.
Yes.
And I'm trying to figure out where was them plates and stuff coming from. Like y'all was in Greece somewhere because according to Ashley, y'all ain't had no food there. She was hungry because she said, well, we gonna get some food. I'm hungry. Because
Yes.
where was all these plates and stuff flying from?
Yes. And Karen said y'all could have Skyped her for this shit.
Yes.
So
And did you see the white people that were sitting at the table in the back of them looking at them with their mouth wide open?
yes. Guys out here looking crazy. You already in Northern Virginia and you trying to make us look crazy at the barn.
Yeah, I was like, where's these plates coming from? Because according to Ashley, y'all ain't getting Giselle ain't get y'all nothing to eat.
Right. It's check for a piece of cheese, but at the same time, y'all fighting in the barn. We used to have to work in the barn. Now we get invited in the barn to have nice meals, and y'all acting up in the barn.
And y'all in there cutting up, hollering and screaming.
Now, one of the wines did sound good though. It was the wine that was the mix of the white and the red.
Ew. And they flipped each other hair. And did you want me to drag you? Do you want me to drag you? Yeah.
Goodness, but anyways, everyone. So that is what we're watching with FNL. This is Doc. That's Monique, and y'all can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Now I don't know if Google changed their name or something. I think Google. I don't know what's happening with Google, but if y'all can find it on Google, then y'all find it on Google. But apparently, I don't know if Google changed it to YouTube Music or something. But something in the Google universe is changing their name, so y'all look for it on there because that's Monique's platform of choice. I don't know if she's getting a check for, but it is what it is. And on Anchor, and you could catch us, me at Mr. Doc mrdoc on Instagram, Mr. Doc on Twitter. Monique is at Cookie Love 1980 on Twitter, and Bad News Doll
1980.
1980 on Instagram. And that's why I keep forgetting to call you Bad News Doll, because we haven't done the show since April. Bad News Doll here is on the show, everybody.
Yes.
You got Asian Doll, you got Black Doll, and you got Bad News Doll.
Thank you.
But we will check y'all for the next episode. And like I said, people, we are going to do an official FNL radio where we're going to tell y'all about our summer and all that good stuff and bring y'all back into the FNL world. But this a nice little reintroduction since, we haven't done a show since the summertime because we're supposed to be quarantined and y'all out here still with Big Rona in these streets.
And we got to do something because my child is telling me that he got more followers than me. His show is more lit than me. And he said that outro that he wants you to play.
Yeah, so we're going to give Jaden his little outro credits on the show. So, and y'all subscribe to the channel as well and subscribe to the podcast on the podcast platforms I mentioned. And we will check y'all next time, people. So y'all have a good rest of y'all week. Stay masked up. Don't bust your heads with bottles.
People, use your motherfucking words. Use your goddamn words. We see tonight this was a prime example of nobody using their words last night.
Yes, and people getting dragged in the barn with wine glasses and plates falling on the floor. So, all right, everyone, we'll check y'all later. Peace.
Good night.